Good afternoon. This is the fifth week we are together. We would have wished not to be here and not to be for the fifth time. In the light of the tragic events of the Great Return March, since the beginning of the protests, the Arab group, represented here by the Troika, would like to reiterate its condemnation in the strongest possible terms of the continued and persistent targeting with live ammunition of Palestinian peaceful protesters by Israeli military forces. In these painful circumstances, we extend our sincere condolences to the families and wish prompt recovery to the 100,000 of injuries. And we want to reiterate as well our call for an international investigation, transparent and independent investigation for the killing of civilian Palestinians by Israeli forces. Investigation, as has been called by and requested by the Secretary General of the United Nations and other leaders weeks ago. We want also to call international community, and particularly Security Council, to shoulder its responsibility to urge the Israeli occupying power to refrain from unjustified and deliberated harmful acts toward peaceful Palestinian protesters, acts that are in blatant violation of international law of human rights and international human rights law. The Arab group in New York will continue to follow closely these questions and to consider any option that is offered by the United Nations Charter and by the rule and procedures of the United Nations. Palestinian Ambassador.
Thank you, Khalid. This is, as my colleague, the Ambassador of Tunisia, has indicated, this is the fifth week, the fifth Friday in which we face you to share with you some information regarding this massacre that is continuing on the hands of the Israeli occupying forces against the Palestinian civilians in the Gaza Strip in particular. And as we speak to you, letters have been delivered to the Security Council and to the President of the General Assembly and the Secretary General, documenting in details the crimes of today committed against the Palestinian people. And when we finished drafting the letter, the numbers were 3 Palestinians killed and 883 injured, according to the Ministry of Health of the State of Palestine. Of course, we condemn again these brutalities and crimes against the Palestinian civilians, and we demand that these crimes to be stopped and the perpetrators to be held accountable and to face justice. In this regard, we are grateful for the massive support that was displayed yesterday in the debate in the Security Council. Only 2 votes, 2 delegations were moving in a completely different direction than the direction of about 50 other delegations who have spoken yesterday in the Security Council. We are grateful for all those who have condemned these atrocities, those who demanded an independent and transparent international investigation, and those who were asking for accountability and justice. In this regard, we give special tribute to our brothers from Kuwait who have given, a great statement in the Security Council debate yesterday, as well as others, and for all the efforts that they are exhibiting in the Security Council, including the fact that they organized a meeting for us with the elected 10 in the Security Council last Friday, in which we spoke with them in preparation for the debate that have taken place. It wasn't actually last Friday. It was 2 days before the meeting of the Security Council. And all of them emphasized the need for investigation, the need of protection for the civilians, and also for support to UNRWA. And they reflected these ideas in their statements. We are also grateful to very important articulation that have taken place during the course of last week, including yesterday. One is a very good statement issued by Prince Zaid, the High Commissioner of Human Rights in Geneva. For those of you who have not read that statement, I advise you to read it. Very powerful statement, refuting the argument of Israel, saying that even if a kid throwing a stone 300 or 400 meters away from the fence will not be endangering anyone. Therefore, he was demanding from the Israeli armed forces to stop firing at will against civilians, among other things that he called for in his good statement. The same day, the director of B'Tselem, an Israeli human rights organization, said a very powerful letter to the Secretary General of the United Nations, asking him that the UN to intervene and to stop the killing of Palestinian civilians in the Gaza Strip. A week before that, 6 special rapporteurs on files related to human rights in Geneva issued a joint statement saying that there has to be an investigation by the UN, meaning international investigation, because they don't see any change of engagement by the Israeli armed forces. Therefore, any investigation by the Israeli army versus itself will not lead to any results different than the results that they have done in the past, because they did not show any change in the rules of engagement, and therefore there will not be any change in terms of their investigation. We are grateful for all these things, and we challenge the liars who advocated lies in the Security Council yesterday. Let us have independent commissions to come and investigate, to find who is violating international law, to find who are the criminals who are killing innocent civilians, and to hold them responsible. It is cheap to say what you want to say to you yesterday by some ambassador or inside the chamber of the Security Council. We challenge that ambassador and others. Let us have an independent commission to go and investigate all conducts to see who are the criminals, who are violating international law, and to hold them responsible for these crimes. And I advise you, as very smart journalists, challenge them. If their stories are correct, why don't we send an independent investigation to see exactly what is happening on the ground and to hold those criminals accountable for their crimes? These are the things that we wanted to share with you. And also, I want to conclude by saying that we are exploring all of our options. We will continue knocking on the door of the Security Council. That message was very, very loud and strong by the E10 when we met with them. They said that we will not absolve the Security Council from its responsibility. It is responsible for the maintenance of international peace and security, therefore it has to act. And in connection with that, we are exploring ideas where the 3 that I referred to, Prince Zaid, the special rapporteurs, the director of B'Tselem, and others like them, we are exploring through the Arab representative in the Security Council, Kuwait, and other friends in the Security Council to see how they can, contribute to bringing the truth to the Security Council and other manifestations of the UN with the view of trying to stop this massacre and to serve justice and to hold an accountability in the same time. So we're exploring these ideas and other ideas, including ideas in the Council on Human Rights, as well as the General Assembly, in addition to the Security Council and also in the ICC. We will not leave a stone unturned. We have the right to demonstrate peacefully, to express our views, and the large crowd of this week in Gaza, larger than last week, is a demonstration that the Palestinian people, in a civilized, peaceful way, are expressing their opinion in the Gaza Strip, and they do not deserve to receive bullets for doing so. Those cowards who are hiding behind the hills and armed to the teeth, protected to the teeth with high-velocity rifles, to use them as snipers against civilians, shame on them. They are the cowards who are facing defenseless civilians and killing them as one would go hunting in the open fields. If they are really moral force, they would not conduct themselves in that manner. In the contrary, they allow people to demonstrate peacefully without threatening their lives. We will continue knocking on the doors. I hope we don't bring you again next Friday to this place to share with you, the tragedy of the Palestinian people as it unfolds. But check with those who are circulating lies, diverting attentions. Why don't they accept an independent, transparent investigation to go and to check into what is really happening and to come and report it in the Security Council, at the United Nations, wherever they want, wherever we all want, and to get to the bottom of the truth and to hold those criminals accountable for their crimes. If you let me say, in Arabic, few things, because I was to say a few words in Arabic. يعني نجتمع معكم للمرة الخامسة، الجمعة الخامسة، لأن ننقل لكم حصيلة الجرائم التي ارتكبت اليوم ضد الشعب الفلسطيني، التي ذهب ضحيتها حتى وقت بعث الرسائل إلى مجلس الأمن والأمين العام ورئيس الجمعية العامة. 3 شهداء ارتقوا و883 جريحا وفق إحصائيات وزارة الصحة الفلسطينية. ندين هذه الأعمال الإجرامية ونطالب بوقفها، ونطالب بملاحقة المجرمين الذين ارتكبوا هذه الجرائم. نحن سنبقي جميع خياراتنا مفتوحة، بما فيها الخيارات التي تفتح الفرصة إلى المفوض العام لحقوق الإنسان الأمير زيد بن رعد، ومدير مؤسسة بتسلم، وللمقررين ال6 الذين نشروا بشكل جماعي وثيقة في جنيف قبل أسبوع يطالبوا فيها بتحقيق نزيه وشفاف من قبل الأمم المتحدة حول الجرائم المرتكبة ضد المدنيين في قطاع غزة. الرسائل التي بعثت البارحة من قبل، أو البيانات من قبل الأمير زيد، كانت في غاية القوة، ورد على الذين يشككوا ويتهموا الفلسطينيين بأنهم يقوموا بأعمال تستدعي إطلاق النار عليهم، متسائلا كيف يمكن لشاب أو شخص يلقي بحجر على بعد 300 متر أو 400 متر أن يؤذي هذا أو يهدد حياة جندي في الجانب الآخر من الجانب الإسرائيلي. وطالب بقوة بوقف هذه الأعمال من قبل سلطة الاحتلال الإسرائيلي وعدم تهديد حياة السكان المدنيين. بتسلم رئيسها جلعاد بعث برسالة البارحة إلى الأمين العام للأمم المتحدة وطالبه بمنتهى الوضوح أن يتدخل وأن تتدخل الأمم المتحدة لوقف هذه الجريمة ضد الشعب الفلسطيني. هذه رسائل قوية. وكذلك المقررون المختلفون الذين طالبوا من الأمم المتحدة أن تقوم بالتحقيق. نحن نريد، وبالتنسيق مع الأشقاء بالكويت ومع أصدقاء آخرين في مجلس الأمن، أن نجد المكان والوضع الملائم لتمكينهم من مشاركة المجتمع الدولي في هذه الملاحظات هذه جهات نزيهة مستقلة بما فيها ناس من داخل إسرائيل ليردوا على الأكاذيب التي طرحت في مجلس الأمن البارحة من البعض حول ادعاءاتهم، ونتحدى هؤلاء في مجلس الأمن وخارج مجلس الأمن لتشكل لجنة تحقيق دولية نزيهة وشفافة لتحقق في كل شيء في غزة، لنعرف من هو المجرم، من هو الذي يرتكب الجرائم ويخل بالقوانين الدولية، وأن يقدموا إلى المحاكم وإلى العدالة. ونحن مستعدين لقبول مثل هذه التحقيقات مقدما، وإذا هم يدعوا في الروايات التي ادعوا بها البارحة يجب أن لا يخافوا من مثل هذه التحقيقات، وعليكم كصحفيين مجتهدين أن تطلبوا منهم أن يقبلوا مثل هذه التحقيقات النزيهة والمحايدة في هذه الجرائم. هي طلبت قبلك.
Ambassador, there are reports in the media that Jordan has revoked President Mahmoud Abbas's citizenship. Is it true, and how significant of a move is it?
I missed to know what you said.
Jordan revoked President Mahmoud Abbas' citizenship. Is it true?
I'm not aware of anything of that nature, so I don't have any information. Yes, sir.
Do you believe from...
And I doubt very much that that is true.
From what you're saying, do you believe that Ambassador Haley is spreading lies, or simply she doesn't understand, or she's just listening to the Israeli ambassador who is accusing, in fact, Palestinians of using civilian population as a human shield against the shooters? So what are you saying here? Thank you.
I think her statement yesterday was so insensitive to the tragedy that the Palestinian people are going through. And she did not say a single word about the large number of Palestinian children who are in Israeli jails, the large number of Palestinian children who have been injured, and the plight of Palestinian children who have visited jails, thousands of them over the years. And to come and to talk about the thing that she did without saying a single word about the horrendous crimes by the Israeli occupying authority against the Palestinian children is really a position that created a very strong resentment among the entire Palestinian nation and everyone who listened to that statement. Yes.
Follow up on Ben's and Ali's question. You said Ambassador Haley was insensitive, but the question is, was Ambassador Haley a liar yesterday at the Council? Yes or no, please?
Well, I don't think that that is the issue. I was referring mainly with regard to the lies that the ambassador of Israel, that he brings to you, the journalist, and inside the Security Council. With regard to Ambassador Haley, the fact that she goes in the tangent that she did without saying a single word about who is creating this hardship and the tragedy for the Palestinian people, including children, and not to cite a single case of Palestinian children and their suffering on the hands of the Israeli occupying authority, would make her whole story not credible, in addition to being extremely insensitive.
Ambassador, what about your position about the Secretary General's role in the investigation? Do you think he is still on his same position, because he was the first one who called for independent investigations? Do you think he can initiate himself a committee or a mechanism for such investigation? What do you think about his position?
Our understanding that his position is still there. His special representative, Mr. Nikolai Mlidinov, made a very powerful statement last week after the killing of the child, and it created, a reaction from the Israeli army, and you know the rest of the story. And he demanded an investigation on that crime, and I assume he is still holding the same position of demanding investigation in all crimes committed, against the civilian population. I believe that the Secretary General is still of the same opinion. I am not aware of him changing his position, and he is trying to see how that investigation will unfold. And for that matter, the European Union is still of the same position, calling for an investigation, and we support these calls, and we sincerely hope that we can find a way where an independent commission would be established with the mandate, whether it is from the Office of the Secretary General, whether it's from the Commission in the Council on Human Rights, or the General Assembly, or even better, the Security Council, if the Security Council is capable of rising to that level, to do so. And we need to have an independent and transparent investigation.
On the Human Rights Council, have you taken any steps there since last Friday in terms of asking them to set up a panel? And also I wanted to ask Mike Pompeo, now the Secretary of State, is visiting Jerusalem on his current trip. What do you expect of that trip? Do you have any comments on it?
I don't know what he is going to do. You're asking the wrong person. Ask others. They might give you information. But with regard to the Council on Human Rights, consultations are taking place. And, our colleagues in Geneva are handling that file. And, we are dealing with all options, including that options. It is on the table. And, when things take a concrete form, you will hear about them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.